but she spelled it wrong.
Sin City was a media.
Hey, come on, man, with that foo-foo ass blunt, cool. That shit name my head.
Solo Leveling was something that I heard of well before the anime came out, and I've seen a lot of good things about it. I've seen a lot of people saying it was one of their favorite manhwas ever. I've seen some stuff like Sung Jin-Woo was a top manhwa protagonist. I just sat there like, oh, that's cool. Oh, too bad I can't read. My fault. I've heard a lot of good things about this shit, gang. So when the announcement from the anime dropped, niggas was going stupid. I mean, like, I wasn't hearing shit, but Peak is finally getting animated. This is gonna be peak fiction, all kind of good shit, right? And you start hearing that BS. You know how the anime community is. I've heard this is gonna clear my favorite anime. So this shit turned from mere excitement to like, all right, now, this shit better be good. After binging the rest of this first part last night, I gotta say, nigga, this shit is hard, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Just like the title says, this shit is everything that they said it was gonna be so far. I'm not gonna lie. The story is super compelling and dense with a lot of mystery and things to think about. The characters are all super interesting and so much love. There's so much love put in this show so far. There's only been 12 episodes. As far as like design and animation and voice acting, it's ridiculous. We got a lot to talk about, so let's chop it up.
Love you forever, but sometimes we seem to disagree. Pray that you protect her and increase my sympathy. I'm a mini you, one day I'll have a mini me. I'm your son, I shouldn't treat you like an enemy. I get annoyed when you point out all my tendencies.
So after finishing this first core, I really kind of like how they just left the beginning part with all the S-Class heroes like a complete mystery. We don't really know much about the Jeju Island at this point, and we just all know that like you have to be around S rank to survive there, and shit, even that ain't guaranteed because niggas was definitely getting smoked there. And apparently it's getting even more dangerous because the monsters are evolving. They kind of just vaguely threw us in there not knowing who any of these people are, and slowly like throughout the story, like throughout the first like 12 episodes, they're slowly kind of unraveling their purpose and bigger meaning when it pertains to the story, and I like the approach. I really like it. We still haven't met most of these S-Rankers either, and the ones we met, we really still haven't been told the conflict that's pertaining to the island at this point, but we know it's personal, and that's the reason they returning there. And just knowing that leaves a lot of excitement and anticipation for whenever they end up like returning to that island. It leaves a lot of anticipation for that shit. So I really like that approach right there. Our intro to Sung Jin-Woo was pretty cool. You kind of see early on that he has a reputation of like just being ass as a hunter, kind of like me in video games. But you just don't get the title weakest hunter without being an absolute shit can. So I was definitely like looking forward to getting some like secondhand embarrassment type shit from this nigga, but I actually got the exact opposite, surprisingly. Although he was getting hurt and he was needing to get healed, but he actually like stood 10 toes in that double dungeon. Without his quick and rational thinking, that double dungeon incident, the whole squad would have got smoked. Speaking of, nigga, that double dungeon was treacherous. I'm not gonna lie. When shit hit the fan, it was pretty funny though, because at first dude seeing them doors closed, he was like, yeah, hell no, and tried to get up out of there. He ended up sailing the quick time event and getting his ass smoked. Another nigga got completely burned out of existence. I mean, to the point they burned him so bad that he's not even a memory anymore. Like, niggas don't even know who he is anymore. That other nigga was like, I'm very confident on my speed, and tried to hit the feast of a lifetime towards that door. And unfortunately, this was all that remained of folks asked for that, because them statues ain't leave shit but cankles and K-Swiss. And what Park say? I should be safe here, right? Hell no, apparently he was the main performer at the halftime show and got perfectly cut in half like an ASMR video, my nigga. Not gonna lie, it was pretty messed up that they left Sung Jin-Woo, especially considering that, like, he's the sole reason that they survived. So I was like, damn, folks really got the shit end of the stick right here. It's kind of crazy. Folks get his little ass chopped up by them statues. Two of them statues was beating his ass. And then the system came in, and that screen popped up and asked him if he was going to accept this quest line. And at this very moment right here, Sung Jin-Woo will no longer be called Sung Jin-Woo. His name from this point on is Big Woo. We immediately get this Big Woo training arc, and we see the initial stages of Big Woo's glow up. We see him fail his daily quest and get thrown straight in the K-lid, aka the penalty zone, which was a pretty funny ass moment. The beginning sequence low-key did a lot of explaining for the story in like the first 2 episodes, and I think that's actually pretty impressive, because a lot of shit happening right now. I think around like the 3rd episode was when we got like a peek into his personal life, because we got to see why he even signed up to be a hunter to begin with. And after seeing all this, I ain't got nothing but respect for my nigga Big Woo, because he's just trying to take care of his family, folks. He his sister's guardian technically, and he's just trying to cure his mother's like sleeping disease that she has, because she has a disease where she just keeps on sleeping. His first dungeon back was pretty fire. It was a pretty fire ass sequence. When you take a step back, you really gotta think about how strong Big Woo's mentality is, because he literally just got the worst situation available. And like, I would completely understand that bro done woke up in that hospital was like, yeah, gang, this hunter shit just ain't for me. I would completely understand. Like, shit was super traumatic, but his dedication to his family and getting stronger is kind of like silence all that shit. So it gotta make you like respect the fact that folks just hop right back into it, even with all his fears and doubts still being there too, which is crazy. And that boss fight with that snake boy, chef's kiss, my nigga. This is what the show shows us. We ain't calling folks as Big Woo for no reason, folks. Not only was the fight choreography and the animation was just like beautiful all together, but that damn voice acting and the music was amazing here as well. I heard it was like the same way. I watched it in the sub. I heard it was the same way in the dub too. So shout out to Taiso Bond and Alex Lee, whichever one. Their vocal work on this was great. And I haven't heard a nigga scream out like this since Kendrick on the Pepper Butterfly, my nigga. So good job on this. And not only did Big Woo gain strength through all this, but Phonimio has gained the hoes as well. And it only makes you root for my boy Big Woo even more. That one nurse was like, before he tried to leave, that one nurse was like, hold on there, nigga. Give me your phone number. Just sitting there drenched in his presence, for you gotta tip your hat off to my boy, because life is on the up and up for my nigga Big Woo, folks. He was just at the weakest hunt. He just called the weakest hunt, and now he got the most hoes, bro. That's a glow up in 2 episodes. That shit is crazy. The next dungeon was pretty cool as well. We met my boy Yu Jin-Ho. He's a pretty funny character. I like that dude. We gotta give him a name too, low key. We gonna call him Lil Yu. Lil Yu, folks. Them niggas that tried to go into the dungeon with Big Woo definitely made a grave mistake though, folks. They tried to play Big Woo like he was still Lil Woo, folks. They tried to use my boy Big Woo as bait, and they ain't even know folks' ass already sent that spider boss to the Shadow Realm, my nigga. I don't think y'all understand how satisfying it was to watch him solo these like squad full of like scumbag ass niggas. Although that scene was pretty raw, and it was raw that the system came up and it was like a quest line to kill all them niggas. That was raw as hell. The system funny as hell for that. It comes with consequence, cause now he got an S rank. This nigga brother was an S rank nigga, so now he got that nigga after his head. So was it worth it? I don't know. I like this nigga. I'm glad they did it, for I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Although it's like a pretty minuscule like amount compared to everything that's happening, I do like seeing him like spend in between time, like in between the dungeons with his sister during the downtime. Solo Leveling is a show that like moves extremely fast. So these little moments make the experience like overall feel a bit more grounded. I don't know. I like it. Maybe it's just me coming from Freerun before I watch this, so maybe that's why I like it so much. That next fight against that Cerberus dog monster was pretty fire too. It was a reality check and a half for Big Woo though. Like, not gonna lie, cause there was a couple moments in that fight where I was like, damn, my nigga about to be puppy child gang. Like, I was like, ain't no way, bro, not like this. I thought he was about to die for real. He definitely did not get out this fight clean, but this was another amazing ass fight. And the setting for this fight was crazy. Like, everything is on fire and there was like this big ass temple in the background. And also, like, this was another like major step towards getting that elixir of life shit to cure his OG's disease, which was actually pretty cool too. You made it this far in the video, I appreciate you, gang. Did you know that 97% of these people that watch my videos aren't subscribed? That means 90% of the population that don't watch my videos don't wipe their ass. So hit that subscribe button to tell me that you wipe your ass. Have a good day. That little emergency dungeon, boy, fire. Every aspect fire. It did so much for the story right here. I was already ready for like my nigga Big Woo to flex on these niggas, but this dungeon like actually did a lot for the story progression too. First off, they threw a major curveball at us with Kane. From his demeanor when you first seen him when they tested him for the reawakening, I thought he was just gonna be like the silent type, how Megami is in Jujutsu Kaisen. I thought he was just gonna be like one of those really cool niggas that's gonna find out Sung Jin-Woo's secret. Oh, my fault, Big Woo's secret. But he was gonna keep it on the low. Like they was gonna be friends low-key type shit. So that's what I thought was gonna happen. But apparently not, because this nigga's part of YNW. Apparently not. The last thing I was expecting was for him to be this bloodthirsty murderer. So that was a huge surprise. And I wasn't expecting him to kill the other 2 survivors of the double dungeon too. I thought that was like tough. I was like, damn. And actually, speaking of, Big Woo had like a line in here that kind of hit me. And like, I don't know if I was the only one that really noticed this, but this is kind of a deep ass line. I think what he said, he was like, when he said one of them dead or dying, he was like, you have to survive so I can keep blaming you. I was like, whoa. I was like, damn, that's a pretty deep line for it. Caught me completely off guard. I think the scene was still here without it, but it really makes you think like how much that shit actually hurt my boy Big Woo. For you gotta think about that shit. That's a really crazy line to put there for so subtly like that. The fight between Big Woo and Kang is probably one of my second favorite fight in this show so far. Mostly because Big Woo was really baiting folks' ass the entire time. He was really trying to like hold back and keep on hiding his power. And man, he was shit talking him damn near the whole time in that fight. What did he say? He was like, can you stop being so bloodthirsty and use that murderous intent skill? I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I thought you were losing this fight, brother. The visuals right here were crazy. The visuals in this part was extremely creative. Like the really cold look in his eyes, like the little Kang actually singing. It was so raw right here, bro. I can't believe this part was actually this cold. And this honestly solidified Big Woo as one of the coolest niggas in anime, for right here. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so excited to see what techniques he learned next. Big shout out to the animation team on this one. This is how you literally turn a good moment into a great moment. Because even without this, I think this would be pretty cool. This nigga Big Woo is getting so cold at this point. Him and Lil Yu are so low on damn near all the C rank gates. He even finessed the nigga for 600 million for some 70 million yen gates, folks. And the nigga thought it was all worth it just because he got Big Woo's phone number, folks. Big Woo is a cold nigga, dog. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, come on, man. Obviously, we gotta talk about this job change quest, man. We got to. Cause I'm keeping it big with you. Although Big Woo is my nigga, he shouldn't have survived this at all. Folks got lucky as hell. Let's start off with this Igris fight, man. This was raw. This Igris fight was raw as hell, but this was an absolute slaughter. The first thing that really made me smile in this fight is when Big Woo dropped his weapon and Igris dropped his shit too. He was like, man, what up there, bitch ass nigga? This that Dinkin type vibe, I really fuck with this fuck. But Big Woo definitely got temporarily demoted to Lil Woo during this fight, because that combo Igris hit him with was absolutely generational. His kids gonna feel that one, I'm not gonna lie. That juggle combo was straight out of Killer Instinct. I'm surprised the nigga ain't yell out Ultra combo after he finished that bitch, folks. He beat the double XP tokens out that nigga. Big Woo should have lost a level for each hit of that combo. Bro, he juggle comboed this nigga all the way to that throne across the room, folks. Do you see how far away he ended up from when that combo started? The duration of and the distance of this combo is insane. That combo lasted for 3 acres of land. You know how much real estate that combo lasted for? That combo went the distance of a 5K marathon. He comboed that nigga from Limgrave to the mountaintop of the Giants. He comboed that nigga from Kami's to Kanton City. He comboed that nigga from the Sand Saga all the way to the Boo Saga. He comboed that nigga from Moisty Myers to Pleasant Park. I was more than convinced that Big Woo should have lost this, and I think he still should have at the very moment. But he won. He also got lucky as hell getting put in that penalty zone in the last part of that quest. But regardless of all that, the scene of him getting his power, nigga, that shit was fire. Oh my god. Once I seen him summon those knights he was fighting, I was like, oh no. Like, ain't no way. Foes just became even more of a problem. And then he had the nerve to look over at Igris. I was like, hell no, y'all better not let him do that. And it took him a few tries, but once he hit that Arise and that nigga Igris spirit got up, I was like, yeah, it's over, bro. Streets is done. Wrap it up for season's over. Big Woo now has 3 out of 2 Akuma just walking around in his back pocket, nigga. That's so crazy. But I'm so excited to see this Shadow Monarch power, I'm so excited to see how this power works going forward, I know it's gonna be raw as hell. So in my Freerun video, I was talking about like how I like the story approach of 2 separate storylines going on at the same time. I also said I like how Freerun handled it by making Freerun herself the catalyst that bridges the gap between the past and the present. It does this kind of solo level in this case, but it's a bit different. So we know that Big Woo is at least going to be the catalyst that brings both of the stories that like together. But in this case, we have no idea when and how he's going to end up doing it. And I love the mystery behind it, because this could just be a me thing, but I feel like a lot of the excitement I feel from watching this comes from 2 things. So obviously, The fights are incredible and hype. But it's a lot like of me wondering like when the S-Class niggas gonna finally hit a word in the street about my nigga Big Woo folk, especially after this last episode. It got me wondering like how he compares to the S rank. And I like how we can't like really tell how strong he is because he don't know type shit. This show kind of left us with that conversation, and any discussion of that just makes me want to see what happens next. I want to see more of these S-rank heroes too. I want to see what they own. I want to see like how dangerous the Jeju Island is. I'm overall excited as fuck about this second part. Solo Leveling got me pretty hooked, I'm not gonna lie. There's so much mystery surrounding this show, like there's so many things I want more insight on. Even on something like the system. Why does Big Woo only see the system? And it seems like the system is kind of like a person. Like, it has me extremely intrigued. And I'm here for the long run. Because, man, I need these answers. Quick shout out to the animation team, A1 Pictures. Y'all blacked out on this shit. There are so many scenes in here that could have just been like way more basic. But all these extra like visual elements that you put here damn near made them stand out like really crazy. Like, you guys took this adaptation to the next level and made it way more than what it could have been, because it could have been way worse to keep it a being. Not saying like the source material is bad, nothing like that. Like I said, I can't read. I didn't read Solo Leveling, but like I could tell y'all added a bunch of shit to this, like visually, to make this even more interesting. And great job on y'all for doing it, because this came out really great. And like I said, shout out to the voice actor, man. The voice acting this shit is crazy. I really love when voice actors get in a bag. That's why I love when Itadori, like I seen a clip of Itadori's voice actor during his breakdown. He was like really into it. So I would love to see the clips of Sung Jin-Woo's voice actor, my fault, Big Woo. I would love to see the voice acting clips of Big Woo and see like during these fights and like how like into it he is. Cause I know he did his shit with this one. The voice performance on this is amazing. And I gotta go back and watch some of the dub clips too, cause I heard those are really good as well. But that's all for me, man. As always, man, I hope you have a great day, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.
Sometimes we seem to disagree. Pray that you protect the and increase my sympathy. I'm a mini you, one day I'll have a mini me. I'm your son, I shouldn't treat you like an enemy. I get a